You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the April 9th joint meeting of the LaPorte County Solid Waste District Board and the Citizens Advisory Committee. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
I'd like to call the Solid Waste District of LaPorte County April 9th meeting to order. Everybody stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And roll call, please.
Commissioner Haney, Commissioner Graham-Rosa, Mayor Dermody,
Present.
Mayor Nelson Deitch, Commissioner Hollifield,
Present.
Councilman Mullenhour,
Present.
Councilman Prespolinski.
Present. Thank you. And a roll call for the CAC board.
Paul Brooks. Present. Julie Charlesworth. Amy Ficus.
Present.
Jim Irwin. Present. Jim Michaels. Amy Skyler. Sam Joel. We're good.
All right, thank you. Just want to welcome the board members. I don't think we have, do we have any new board members since the last time we came on?
We're going to today.
Yep, you'll learn that soon.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. But anyway, welcome again, and we're going to work well together and try to get things accomplished, okay? All right. Let's see. Minutes of the district board meeting of January the 8th, 2025. We need to approve them. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Motion to approve and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The minutes from the district board meeting of March 10th, 2025. Is there a motion to approve those?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion to approve and second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. And the CAC board minutes from April the 3rd, 2025. I think that would be up to your board to make that motion and vote on it.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Second.
They have to
Everybody in
approve.
favor, say aye.
Okay, thank you. Claims docket for February, March, and April.
As always, when we don't have a meeting, we send out the claims to the board, and the board gets to review them, and the chairman comes in and signs them. He's done that for February and March.
Right.
You have your April claims in front of you today.
Okay.
All three of them need to be approved into the minutes.
Okay, so I signed the ones for February and March already. I have to do April. Okay, but they're not ready yet till the end of the month.
No, they're ready.
Are they? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right, so we have to have an approval by the board to approve them. Is there a motion to approve the claims for February, March, and April?
So moved. Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the claims. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And I can say that the claims are, they're all good and no issues because I had to sign them. So, yeah, I'm not going anywhere. All right, financial report through March 31st.
As always, that's this form here that we hand out, and I always point out to the board, there's a yellow block on the top. shows we have a current cash balance of approximately $1,700,000. So we have sufficient funds to get us through to our next tax distribution.
Yeah, Clay, if you would, please, for Commissioner Holofield. I don't know if he's ever gone through this report.
No, I have not.
Yeah, and if you would, go ahead and pull it out, and we'll have Clay kind of go through it a little bit, and if you have any questions, because it's also good for our, the commissioners here, board members here, to kind of go through it. Yeah, there you go.
As you're looking at it, it'll be to your left, you'll see a block in the white there says income. That shows all our income. And we run it for each month, and then we run it for year to date, and then we have what we project we're going to use for 2025. That's in the green here. And the next set of blocks is what we did in 24 that month and that year. And then there's the green and the light orange color kind of gives us the running totals there. And then the next set of white blocks here is our expenses. And that goes through month to month, all the expenses that you'll see on the claim dockets. It reflects it back on here as a total. And you can compare it to what we did in 2024, and then the running balances here. So, like I mentioned, the most important is that number on top in yellow. It shows that we have sufficient funds to still operate the district until the next tax distribution.
Yeah, and when was it? Refresh my memory, when we voted for the rate increase, when was that, 2 years ago? Was that 2 years ago? Yeah, because the district, and this is just for general information, the district was running in the red, so we had a rate increase of 50%, right?
Yep.
Which amounted to $2.50 a month, okay? And by doing that, we brought the district out of the red and into the black, and we've been running there ever since, so, yeah.
Maintaining.
Just one question while we brought to it. The year-to-dates in 25 versus year-to-dates in 24 seem to be in the compost site, the interest, also the grants, loans. Is it just the time of the year? Is it numbers are down?
It's a little bit of combination of all that. The grants and the loans, that is a rollover number. Why it's showing there, we saved some money from 24 to bring into 25. That's 60,000 compared to the 3,500. No, I take that back. The 3,500 in grants and loans is what the vendor gives us for education purposes. So Board and Wasteway sends us that check for 3,500. That 60,000 would be our rebate.
But the year-to-date in purple versus year-to-date is 13.5 and 25. And it was 60,000 year-to-date in 24.
Oh, yeah.
And it's 13.5 and 25 year-to-date.
If I might, the 60,000 last year was an equipment loan. I'm just showing the proceeds that were brought in. And this year is the $3,500 grant loan from the education from the hauler, and the $10,000 was a tire grant we just received for the first time successfully. Applied for a tire grant through IDEM. Sasha did, our educator.
3,500 is the education money.
Yeah, I thought I said that first, and then the 10,000 was the tire.
There's no, what do you see the 10,000 at in there? And the income?
It's in March.
Under
March 25.
March 25 in green.
The far left green column.
Yeah.
And then compost site material sales seem to be a little down year-to-date.
You've got February.
That's the one you gave me here. Okay, well, Lynn's got the current one. I'm a month behind on this one, so that's why it's not reflecting what I'm not seeing what you're seeing. So Lynn will have to give you all those answers, but she's correct with that. Tire grant loan should be the 10,000, 3,500 is education, that makes that 13.5. And that other 60,000 or whatever.
That's what I'm talking.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense there.
And just the other compost site material sales seems 4,400 versus 14,000.
Well, that was I can't answer that question.
The year-to-date in purple for '24, the 14,000, that's a year, the total for the year, end of year, where year-to-date for us in green compost site is only through this month, only through March, so it's building.
But in 24, it says year-to-date, January through March.
Oh, well,
But you look
March,
at that first purple number,
yeah,
3669 compared to 4,000.
Right, but I'm looking at year-to-date 25 versus year-to-date 24.
yeah, because it's only March of this year so far.
Right.
So the year-to-date's gonna match.
Am I not?
Pardon? I'm sorry.
But they should be equal at year-to-date.
Yeah, at year end.
No, in the green, are you talking about the green?
Well, I'm talking about the year-to-date in 25 is in the green. Compost site seems to be at 4439. And then year-to-date for the same period in 24 is at 14,100. So it's 10,000 less.
Oh, yeah.
Or
Yeah.
I mean, not, but,
is the year-to-date 24 the entire year of 24?
no, it's year-to-date.
Yeah, it should be year-to-date,
Should just
I'm
be
not
till-
sure.
Till March of 24 is what we took in, was 36. That should balance out to the same as 3659 plus what we did in January and February. Well,
Because there's
that's
no
what it is.
third purple. There's no projected
Right, but that
2024.
is, that year-to-date is January, February,
Right.
and March. So we got those 3 months, year-to-date was 14,100.
Right, and in the same amount of time this year was 4439.
Right. It's just, it's early. We haven't
No,
sold that.
I get what he's saying.
But it was the same early
I'd have
time
to
in
go back and look,
24.
I'm not sure why.
Well, that number was 3659 early in 24. So we're actually
Right.
ahead.
No,
No, because
if you look for,
he's got 14,100 and this one has 4,400. So 24 shows 14,100 and year-to-date this year shows 4,400.
I do believe the problem is in the purple. Maybe I've mislabeled that column. It shouldn't say year-to-date. It should say
okay.
year-end. Yeah, I think that's the issue.
I just didn't know if something had changed.
Rejected.
Yeah, no, that's,
It's always pretty slow.
it's always the end of the year. That should say end of year, sorry. I think that's
Okay.
And the thing that did change, as you'll notice in the green, we did sell 4,400s because the new trauma you allowed us to purchase last year, we're making that product now, so we're selling more of it. That's why that month totals are different. We're higher, and it should be higher through the whole season now.
And then I guess since you brought that attention, I'm looking at year-to-date 2024, all right, and what we took in 2024. So is that, and then over here we got projected 2025, but that's only for, yeah, see, to me, there should be a total like for 2024. One more column with the totals for 2024.
Yeah.
So you can compare 2024 to where you're at in 2025, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Each have three
Yeah.
columns.
I'll do that.
You guys,
I'll make
can
a
you do
note.
that?
Yep.
Yeah, that way we can apples for apples.
Well,
Yeah.
I think somehow we have a fat finger in there or something. That 14,000 isn't right. If that was corrected, I think you'd be able to see the comparison then. You wouldn't need that third column. Third column, and this one is our projected. These are just numbers that we project that we hope to obtain. Like we hope to have 45,000 in compost sales this year.
Yeah, but if you had the final true numbers like you're saying in 24, you could compare
Yeah.
what it's projected versus what it actually was.
There wouldn't be an extra one in there, would it? $4,100 for the 14,000?
That's what I'm thinking. That number's messed up. But would it be that hard to create that third column?
No.
No. Okay, but you can do that then for you.
You guys got any questions? No? Okay. Mr. Holyfield, you got any more questions?
So that year-to-date total 2024, is that for the entire year, or is it a mistake? It's supposed to be 4,100?
We think it's a mistake, so we're going to have to correct that and probably get you a new.
Okay.
Yep.
Or we'll.
Because if
then we'll
it's
set
the
an
entire
expiration.
year, you're $34,000 short.
No, I think there's an extra.
Already.
You said an extra digit in there from somewhere.
Okay.
All right, good points. All right, we got that
Bad
correct?
timing when you asked for us to explain that, and I had the wrong month, and we had messed up numbers, so not looking good.
Okay, any other questions about the financial report? All right. Moving on.
That needs to be voted on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right, to approve it. Is there a motion to approve the financial report for the month of March or through March?
Make a motion that you approve it, but we need to still get the accurate numbers on there, so.
Right.
In addition, that the numbers are updated.
Absolutely.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second with, I'm not going to call it an amendment, but
Correct it.
with the directive to get the correct numbers put on this for the month of April's report. Okay?
We'll get an email out to everybody, but then we'll probably bring it back at our July meeting for just
Yeah.
approval to get the minutes corrected. So
Okay. All right. All right. Financial reports.
We didn't take the report.
That's right. We made a motion. There was a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Financial reports are approved. Any comments from the public? No comments from the public.
We do.
Pardon?
Public.
Yes.
Okay. I was going to give.
Speak.
Okay.
So one of the things, if you look at our minutes from last week, we talked about a little bit about the Baylor committee, which is all of us, regarding Baylor that would be installed, I believe, with a grant.
It would, we'd pay for the baler, but basically they would finance it for us and we would pay it back as we gathered bales of eggs until it was paid off.
Yeah. One of the concerns previously in another meeting was the weight of the physical baler itself with regard to the ability for the foundation, the concrete foundation to hold that up. And did a little bit of research. Because the payloader, the grinder go into that same building, and the weight of the baler is 4,600 pounds, whereas is this the grinder?
The beast.
The beast.
The biggest one.
Is 65,000. So I think as far as that is concerned, it's not a concern as far as that goes. So that was just one of the things that came out of our meeting.
Chris, I got a question. So what's the baler and what's that used for?
The baler, you guys, I think, probably received some PDFs, some specs on that. Maybe Sasha.
Like last fall, so we do the plastic bag recycling through Trex. So they have a grassroots effort where if we got a baler, we would be a drop-off site would be considered. So we would be able to take and bale the material here, and then they would provide the trucking to pick up the bales and it would go directly to them. But each bale is worth, oh gosh, I think it's $180 it comes to per bale is what the price was last I checked. And so that would we would pay off the baler based on those bales. Like once we made enough money back on those bales to pay off the baler, then we would actually be making money off the material that we would be sending to them. And they'd be able to do boat wrap too. We just have to bale it separately. So we would be able to even anybody could bring their bags to us and we'd be able to bale them and then we could make money off of that, like a return off of plastic bags. Because right now we're taking them, Scott takes that load at least once a week over to Kroger and we have to drop them off there. But sometimes Kroger is a little overwhelmed by us when we do bag exchanges and stuff and then we have to stockpile them for a while. So this would kind of alleviate that and, it'd be a way to kind of get some money back on it.
So are you asking for the commission to finance?
So they would finance it, we would just have to sign a contract with them. So I think the baler was like 14 or 15,000, I think is what it was. But Paul said too that there's like where we could find a cheaper baler if we wanted to and not go through them and just buy the baler outright. But if we buy it through them, they finance it, and then we would pay it back based on our truckloads of stuff we send to them that they come and pick up. But we would have to have where we can, we have to provide a covered area for the bales to sit in until they come and get them. So they can come and get whether it's a half a truckload or a full truckload is what they can pick up. But we were talking before about like those shipping containers that we use down there for the electronics and styrofoam. Like to use that as far as to keep them out of the weather so we're not taking up space in the compost building on there.
And how long do you think it would take to pay the baler off?
They said that most people are paying it off within the year. That's what she told me.
Really?
So $180 per bale, you're gonna approximately 1,800 bales per year?
I bet we could do that.
See, there's a disagreement though. I don't think we're prepared to do a baler down at our compost site. And I've invited the board to come down to our site because during the winter, we store all of our equipment in there. We don't let it sit outside. There's no room in there once we get all our equipment in there. They looked at it, you looked at it in the summertime where our equipment was out in the field, and she found a spot for it. And at that point, I said, you need to come back in the winter and look at our facility. There's no room. Plus, you need to look at a baler. Yeah, there's a weight difference, but baler pounds. Our foundation's probably not set up for that. And I asked them to, get some specs on that and come back and talk to us about it. We don't have the manpower to do that. You're going to have to hire more people. I don't have the excess funds to buy additional containers, to buy places to cover it up with. Mm-hmm. I don't have the manpower. They need to put together some type of financial, and that's what the CAC is supposed to be, an advisory to this board. Come back with some good numbers. When they first brought it to me, I tried to set up a tour with the company, and they wouldn't allow us to do a tour to see how these balers operate, to see what type of apparatus they used to hold the bales with. We asked them, well, can you tell us anybody that might have one? It took us forever. We finally found somebody. It was in a far part of Illinois. They said, yeah, you can come, but we can only give you 5 minutes. I thought, there's just something wrong. So it's not right.
Because a lot of the places where the balers are like actual factories and manufacturing plants, and they don't do tours ever on their own. And it's kind of like a liability issue is what they said to us. And to find anybody that actually has that baler, I had to call around to ask everybody what their baler is, and that was.
Can you get a video? Can you get a video of it operating from the company?
Yeah.
But are you saying
It's just a baler. It's just you put the stuff in and it squishes it into a cube.
Are you saying people bring that stuff to you now?
The
They bring the
bags?
plastic bags to us, and
Yeah.
we take it to Kroger's, and it's no cost other than just we drive our pickup truck to Kroger's, drop it off, and come back. And we're in the Trex program that after every 500 pounds, we're eligible for a bench twice a year. So
But how do you do that
No.
just large plastic bags.
So now we just drop them off in the bags. We bag them in bigger bags and take them down to Kroger is what we do currently. But we could become a drop-off location, and then that way we would just be able to take all the bags.
Okay.
We wouldn't
How
have to
many
be
big bags?
transporting them.
How many big bags does it take of these little bags to make 500 pounds?
So, I don't know.
That seems like a lot.
It's 82 bags make a pound is what it comes out to. So it does take a lot, but then we take water softener, both salt bags, so those are a heavier bag. Boat wrap's heavier. Any of your thicker shrink wrap stuff we can take. We can take pretty much any kind of bag as long as it's not woven or it has the metallic inside to it. So we
And
can
to
take
Clay's-
potting soil bags, we can take mulch bags as long as they're clean, yeah.
Would you agree with Clay's point about having to have a staff member do it?
I don't know how long it would take to bale something, honestly. I know that Vince that works down there, he used to work at a grocery store or something, so he knows how to work a baler, he told me before. And we found 3 different spots we could fit it in there along the walls. So it wouldn't be in the way, but we'd still have to move the bags in there, to put them until we could bale them. But I'm not sure actually how much time consuming that is.
What's the footprint?
Yeah, how big is a
Is it 8 foot
baler?
wide, 10 foot wide, by 12 or?
Well, I have it.
Because
I would recommend maybe after today's meeting, you guys go down there and see how the building looks.
Because it's also probably got to be bolted to the floor too, I'm guessing. Does the compression stroke go
The city guys,
horizontal or vertical?
us city guys don't know, you know.
I'm not a mechanic.
Because if it's going horizontal, I don't think you're going to have an issue with the concrete floor.
It's a vertical baler, it says.
It's vertical, so it's got up and down stroke. But
Those are the spec sheet on it.
it's not constant like a hay baler.
No,
It's
no.
a hydraulic press.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
like you would fill it up, you wouldn't have to run it like a constant. You'd fill
Okay.
it up and then run it when you had enough in there.
Well, I don't think there's going to be an issue with that concrete floor at all.
I'd still like to see the specs on the floor.
Who poured it?
I have no idea.
It's not that old.
Larson Danielson's the one that built it. We have the prints in here. You can probably look at that and find the thing that's on the floor.
Okay. I'm going to guess it's probably at least 6 inches.
Yeah, I would
It's
say
probably got wire and rebar in it.
Better is.
Yeah, for a payload to sit on it.
And you did put that better, and then you could put a 3/4 plate down both to the
On top of it,
floor.
or rubber mat or something.
And, yeah, I don't know what grade rubber mat.
Okay.
It probably worked for a cushion, but the plate would give you enough equal all the way around. Be
Spread
the
it out.
same pressure per square inch.
And the other questions are, what's all included with this? I mean, it's probably got to have 440, so somebody's got to come in there and wire it. Somebody's got to mount it. You know, is that all part of the free baler, or is that something that we have to incur those costs on?
The $14,000 to $15,000 price tag, that's a purchase to own from the manufacturer. Okay? New. Or you can buy it from someone else outright.
Yeah.
What's the price difference going to be there? And then are you going to get what kind of service and warranty you're going to get out of two different things?
There we go.
Because it's moving, so it's going to break eventually.
Yeah. And then, Paul, didn't you have some prices from when you looked at some other ones?
My company has a relationship with Great Lakes warehouse nearby. And we're looking to get a baler there. And there's a recycling company that wants to work with us. They've linked us to a handful of them that can be delivered to Great Lakes, and they're about half the cost.
To buy outright.
Yeah, in the $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 range. They're older models. I'm not quite sure how the maintenance would work. But
they're brand new machines.
No, they're refurbished.
Used ones, refurbished.
They're refurbished, but the company that wants to take our bales of various materials, I mean, he says they work just fine.
Probably have some kind of warranty, but I doubt if it'd be very long.
No.
So 90 days maybe?
I can't picture it being that complicated and stress on this thing if it's just a hydraulic press. I mean, if you max out, it's going to stop pressing. And it's probably not a lot of moving parts.
Well, I'm going to make a suggestion that the advisory board work with the director and have a meeting, get the information put together, and take a visit back here to the recycle area and the pros and cons, and work it out and bring it back to the commission if it gets that far. Yeah. How do the other board members feel?
Is most of the equipment still in there for the winter, or is it pretty much out now?
No, most of it should still be in there.
Okay. I plan on going down and taking a look as soon as the meeting's over. And
Yeah, because I was there last week, and they had that big, is that chipper go inside?
Yeah, in the winter we do.
Yeah, but it was outside already.
Yeah, we had loaned it to the county highway to take care of these woods across from the fairgrounds there. So we left it out there.
I saw some other payloader and stuff like that outside already. Whether that goes inside every night or not, I don't know. But
It does. During the summer, we leave them outside, but with this crazy weather we have up here, it freezes our lines.
okay, that's a good idea. Take a ride up there after the meeting and see.
What lines does it freeze on the payloader?
I don't know, brake lines or something, yeah. We have a dump truck, international dump truck that has diesel, so
Okay.
the payloaders run on diesel. I'm not a mechanic, I don't know, but if you go down to the site, you can ask the fellas down there, they'll tell you.
Have any of the board members been up to the recycle site to see where this might go?
No,
Have you guys gone up there?
With you guys.
I just
Pardon?
think the big
I
concern
think we
is
ought to go with you guys. At least I'll go with you.
Yeah. It only take, 10, 15 minutes to see what's up there.
Fine with me.
Okay.
I think the whole board ought to go down there.
Exactly. I mean, if you guys are promoting that you want to buy it, everybody I would think would want to know exactly what everybody else is talking about. So if you have a few minutes after the meeting, yeah, we can all meet up there and take a look at it. Okay?
Sure.
Deal.
All right. Any other public comment or issues that the board wants to bring up? None?
I don't have any.
Okay. All right, very good. Director's report?
First thing I have for you folks is that we're starting our spring cleanup. Should be in April and May. And as always, the district will provide gloves, bottled water, trash bags for the various groups in LaPorte County that want to clean up anywhere they want to clean up in LaPorte County. We just allow it. We allow the different groups to come in and just get their stuff and then go to their areas and clean up. We don't try to set any organized cleaning days. Just let them pick their own days.
You provide
We have some
picker-uppers or whatever you call it, grabbers?
Well, we don't have enough to give away, but we have some that if you want to borrow them, you're certainly welcome to borrow them.
Okay.
Get them back to us.
Okay.
We had bottled water donated to us from the Family Express Corporation, so we would give out water to all the participants.
Okay.
Next, what was alluded to earlier in our financial statement is during our special collections, we do 2 tire collections a year. And we were fortunate to get an IDEM grant last year for $10,000. We finally wrapped that up and got our grant money. We applied again this year and they approved our grant for this year. So hopefully we'll hit that $10,000 mark at our May collection and maybe we can see what we can do for our September collection.
Good.
But it's a way to help the budget a little bit.
And then how many tires do you take from, like, the cities, like Michigan City, LaPorte? If they want to bring some tires over?
Probably in our May collection, and I don't have the exact number, but we fill up almost 5 semi-truck with tires. And then in our September collection, we're down to about 3, maybe 3.5.
Okay, so if Michigan City's got 100 tires and they want to bring over here, they can just bring them over?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
We always call like the street departments and that.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay, all right. Okay.
And isn't it, I could be wrong here, so many are free, like people?
Yeah, the first 4 tires are free.
That's what I thought.
And that's $1 a tire for passenger tires after that. And then it's $5 for semi-truck and tractor tires. If it's over 54 inches, which is a pretty good sized tire, it's a pass-through cost for us. Liberty Tire, who's our vendor, they charge $75. So we charge the public $75 and then we just pass it through to.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next item I have is last Saturday was our first Saturday hour at the compost site, started April 5th. So we'll be running Saturday hours now through probably November. So the folks can get out there and use our facility. And on our Saturdays, we're a one-man operation down there with people bringing their stuff in, us loading products. So we're also taking plastic bags on a full-time basis down there. It's a lot of work for one man to do on a Saturday. And then on Monday, the guy that works Saturday takes Monday off. So that makes it a one-man operation on Monday. The other days where 2 guys are down there. Also, with all the product we have coming in, we've got a lot of mulch down there. So we're going to do our free mulch program again this year. You guys agree? All the residents of LaPorte County can come in and pick up 25 cubic yards of mulch free. We'll load it for them and send them down the road. We'll run that until we feel that maybe our supply's getting a little bit low, then we'll stop it. But we've got plenty of mulch down there, so we can probably do that the whole year. We did it last year, and it seemed to be, public seemed to like that, come in and get some stuff. We'll still sell it to any contractors or vendors that want to buy it. We'll still sell it to them, but we'll sell it to them for half price. So all we want to do right now is really move it so we can open up some more space on our site.
Is that the big piles along towards the back there a little bit? Is that where it's, okay.
On your labor issue, Saturdays, are they your busiest day?
No, we're pretty busy all summer.
Are you? Okay.
Saturday, it's just done like one man, so he's got to, do the sales,
Okay.
got to do the loading.
That's what I was just saying. If it's the busiest day and you got a day of the week that's not busy, take one person on that day, put the other person on Saturday. Maybe move your labor around so that way there's two on most days.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I said, so if you've got one day a week that's very slow, then leave that day for one.
During the summer, I don't know if you can find a day that's slow down there.
Oh, okay.
It's just constant.
Especially in the spring.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because we also have our
idea.
electronics trailer down there and our styrofoam trailer down there and our public access for recyclables. You can bring extra recyclables and put in our dumpsters down there.
How many visitors do you get in a day when it's busy?
Well, I would guess we're at 100, 125.
No kidding.
Yeah. It's just nonstop through there. That's with, the public and the vendors and contractors and everything coming in.
A lot of praise for that down there compared to, well, we've talked to what used to be where the people were dumping trash along the road on weekends.
Yeah.
And
Beds and dressers, all sorts of junk.
Well, yeah, even the branches, they just pull up and throw
Drop
them.
right next to the road.
Yeah.
Yep.
Next item is we have our special collections calendar set for the year. Our first big collection will be May 17th. That's our 7-in-1, where we take, tires, appliances, electronics, sharps, household hazardous waste, chemicals. We take all that. So our first big one will be May 17th at the fairgrounds from 8 to 1. Not doing anything next Saturday and you want to volunteer some time, come on out. We'll be glad to use you. And that is all I have for the director's report.
Okay, that sheet that you have there on the special collections, is there one in everybody's packet?
Yes, it'll look like this with our letterhead on it.
Yeah, okay. I'll find it.
Looks like it's laying right underneath the thing there.
Okay, any old business?
Yeah.
Yeah, under old business, we have, the advisory board has a vacant seat.
Justin Keel moved, he's going to school in New York, so he resigned his position, and we had an opening and had 2 people apply, and the committee wants to make a recommendation to you of who they think they would like to be approved, and then you guys would have to approve it.
Okay,
Should
and,
be in your packet. There's 2 people of interest.
all right, give us a second, please.
The advisory committee selects Jody Dusak unanimously.
This is Jody down here. She's a graduate of the Master Recycler class.
Okay, I'm sorry, what was the recommendation again?
The recommendation was for Jody Dusak, who's present here today, to
Okay,
replace Justin Keel.
okay, and we vote on that?
Yeah, you're the appointing body to that board.
Okay. And it was Jody, the last name,
Dusak.
Lisak?
Dusak.
Dusak,
Yes.
okay. Okay, there's been a motion and well, there hasn't been a motion yet.
I'll make a motion.
Is there any motions?
I'll make a motion that we accept the recommendation, Jody Dusak to fill Justin Keel's vacancy.
There's been a motion, is there a second?
I'll second it.
And there's been a motion and a second. All those in favor of nominating and electing Jody Dusak to the advisory board, vote.
Aye.
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 Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? No. Congratulations. All right. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Yep. And let's see, new business. Talking about mileage?
Yeah, the county council approved mileage rate for the county, and normally we follow their lead. They set their mileage rate at 50 cents. I don't believe last year we used any mileage. We have a vehicle for our educator to travel in, and we got vehicles for our compost site to use. So we have vehicles, but we still should probably set it just in case we need to pay somebody mileage.
Motion to approve.
There's been a motion. Is there a second to approve the 2025 mileage of 50 cents a mile?
Second.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Nobody's opposed. The 2025 salary study kickoff call and update.
As you remember back in March, I think it was March 10th, we met and you approved a consulting firm to help us with their salary ordinance for this coming year.
Yeah. Was Commissioner Holyfield here?
Yes, I was at that
Okay,
meeting.
all right.
We put a memo in your packet, just kind of updated that on that date. Robin and I met. Robin's our office manager / HR person. We met with Jill Pendergast and Katie McCarthy from Benz and Denny. Over with kind of an introduction and kind of tell them what we thought we were looking for. They had requested some information. They wanted our resumes. They wanted our current salary ordinance. They wanted just basically what we were kind of looking for. But they also asked if they could have a couple of names from the board they can contact to make sure that what we're wanting is the same thing what our board is wanting.
Okay.
There's no gap in there. So we gave him our chairman's name, and I believe you did reach out to him.
Yeah, I called
And we also,
the lady.
we also gave him Mayor Dermody number, and I'm not sure if you had a chance to reach out to him yet or not, but we thought you two would be a good representation of this board and let them know if what we're saying is exactly what you folks are looking for. So, we hope to have something back to you before the July meeting because that's when we start setting our budget for 2026. So I hope to have some numbers back to you.
I have a question on that. I'm going to guess that they're going to come back with a recommendation that the salaries be increased. But now, do you set yours or does the council set them? And B, the state right now is trying to figure out how to restrict as much funding as they can locally, and just that's going to have to play into it also.
Yeah, look, it's kind of a strange thing. Back in 2008, when they did this tax caps, they didn't know what to do with like a solid waste district. So they just told us we had to go to the county council, but all the county council can either approve or disapprove. You can make suggestions, but this board is the consenting body. This board sets our salary. This board sets our raises. This board sets everything. All we do is come to you and basically, or to the county council, and they can say, we want you to follow the same raise that the county takes. This board can follow that recommendation, or they can not follow that recommendation. It's up to them. But basically, and we're a user fee driven entity, so tax caps didn't affect us in any way. But we still have to go before the county council. It's confusing having to go there and them not being able to, you can cut my budget if you wanted. It comes back to my general fund and you guys can redistribute it again, so.
But I had a concern about HR, office manager, combined position, that maybe the wage was too low. Just wanted, so it brought up as well, bigger picture of things.
And as always, they can recommend an increase or a decrease, but it's you folks, this board here, that determines.
Just says yes or no.
Yeah, they can say, you need to pay Clay Turner a tremendous amount of money, but you can say, no, we don't. That's still in your hands.
Well, I got a question. I was unable to make that March 10th. I think it was March 10th meeting. And of course, I sent, I think, to Robin my feelings. And now this one that's going to reach out to these two gentlemen, that's just on the study, right? To whether we're going to do a study or not, correct?
No,
it's on the study.
Oh, it's
We've already
to do the study.
Yeah, we already approved the company that was going to do the study, and then they were reaching out to us on what we thought the study should include.
Okay.
And I read into the minutes your email that you had sent that said, thought maybe not use it. If we're going to do it, let's use it. If we're not going to use it,
what I was just going to bring up, because there's been studies in the past by the county council, commissioners, this has been years ago, that these studies have been done, and then all of a sudden, kind of don't, they don't like that study. So all of a sudden, it just gets shuffled off to the side. So I think if we do it, and it sounds like we want to investigate it properly and make a decision.
And they took your other suggestion, they went with the lowest and most qualified vendor.
Okay.
We had 3 that came to us, and that was the lowest.
Okay.
And one was, I thought, ridiculous.
Yeah, it was.
That was the one the county uses, though, that Urban
Yeah.
Wagner and Shealy.
Couldn't believe those numbers.
Oh, well.
We can't get raises from the county because we're paying too much for studies.
We haven't okayed any.
I just want to make sure Jim Irwin's not being overpaid as well.
I've never been overpaid.
I don't know, a guy that can bring his own chair to a meeting.
Yeah, you need to get chairs for adults, not these little kids that sit in these chairs. Last time there was a bunch of sewing machines.
Okay, Mr. Turner. Item C.
Permission to advertise for a payloader. We're a 2 payloader operation down at our compost site. We have a 1998 Cat, and we have a 2017 Doosan. The last couple of years, we've been putting, a lot of money into maintenance on Cat. It's just getting to that point where we've got to make a decision whether we need to, become a 1 payloader operation or try to invest in that second payloader. So I was wanting the board's permission to let me go out and look, see what's out there, see what the prices are, see what might fit into the current financing that we have, and then bring it back to you for your recommendation.
How big a payload are you looking at, or do you use right now?
It's a it's a 5 bucket, but it's 750.
So it's a 5-yard bucket.
Yeah, it's a good size payload. It's 1998, and I think last year we probably put close to $30,000 into it. It's just
How many hours on this thing?
Yeah.
I don't know that. We can look at that when we get down there.
Yeah, so that sounds like an awful lot.
It is an awful lot,
But I bet you're looking at about $250,000 to $300,000 loader also.
And that's our situation. I can probably get you $30,000. I can't get you $250,000. So at what point do I say, I got to quit getting you $30,000? I got to get you. And we did that with the trommel that you allowed me to buy last year. We went out, we traded our one in, used that trade-in money. We had a little capital funds, we put that towards it. We rolled over some money at the end of the year. So we ended up financing like $60,000 on an almost $300,000 machine. And we paid that off before the 1-year time limit. So we're hoping to do that with the payloader.
Well, if you're as busy as you say during those days, it's important to have, sounds like 2 pieces of equipment that work.
And probably just look into a new one, right? Or is there any used ones out there that are decent?
Probably some used ones, but I'm a layperson, I'll be honest with you, I mean, the guy could probably sell me a pig and a poke, So I would
McAllister used to have not a guarantee, but a refurbished models. They used to have to do like that. And you might even look at something different inside the payloader. Are you always having to lift that much weight?
Pretty much so, yeah.
Okay, because 5 yards of just mulch is not that heavy, I would.
Right.
So you could look at something different. They have models now that are telehandlers. JCB makes nice ones that'll handle a 5-yard bucket and probably a lot cheaper, a lot easier to maneuver, and plus a lot less space.
Yeah, we're looking at right now with our Doosan and our payloader, or CAT, we have a universal connection on them, so we can switch buckets between them, switch the clamps, and even put the forks on them if we have to. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if I could do the universal with a JBL or whatever.
We have to see JCB, see what kind of hookup it is, because there's a universal hookup for most of these now.
Okay.
So
yeah, we need to make our equipment as user-friendly as possible for our site down there.
And then the other thing, Clay, I know the county, they have payloaders, and they have to buy payloaders from somebody. Can you work through the county garage, or whoever the gentleman would be, to get a good price, or talk to a vendor that he has good faith in?
You would, I'm guessing, also you'd use the state sourcing?
No, I was primarily just gonna send out vendor requests since the price is gonna be probably 250 or less.
But
I think like
if
three
you go with
different.
the state, like they purchase vehicles, what's that, source site or? Sourcewell.
Sourcewell.
Yeah, they might have some on their site too, which you usually get a fairly good price.
No.
Just one of those then, and I'm not sure how they do the financing, but when you, like we did the trauma, I was able to get our local bank right away to help me with the 60,000. We had a local distributor get it. It was just from Columbus Equipment out of Ohio, so everything kind of just fell into place. We have a Deucin dealer in Westville.
Mm-hmm.
We have a McAllister's in South Bend. So they're fairly close.
Did you
I can
get
look at
that?
all that and bring it back.
Yeah, did you get that site that they were talking about, that the state used? You guys get that?
She got it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, they just look, they might have one on there at a fairly good price. And
Yeah.
Cat's built probably heavier than anybody on the market, but they also
Last.
know that too, and you pay for it. You pay
Yeah.
yearly for cat, and their service is expensive, but it's good.
Do you need
I've got a
motion?
cat telehandler.
Yeah, it allowed me to proceed. I can't buy anything until I come back and ask your permission just to get the information.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And the last item?
Permission to attend the county commissioners meeting with the 2 tire amnesty days that we're gonna have in order to get that IDEM grant. We need a permission from the property owner to hold our collection on their property. County commissioners hold the lease to the fairgrounds. They own the fairgrounds, so same thing we had to do last year. I came before the board. The board asked me to work through FEMC, but we do our scheduling through those folks, but they don't own the property. IDEM wants the property owner's name on this.
I'm on FEMEC too. Tomorrow I'll bring this up because you'll have to get on the agenda by next Monday for the 16th meeting.
I've already sent it to Diane.
You said Diane, okay.
And we've already scheduled our 2 collections through the fair office.
Okay, so you got that done, okay.
Yeah, that's all done.
So you just gotta go before us and get it approved. Okay.
It seems kind of silly because last year, actually all 3 commissioners were sitting here. And they couldn't sign this. I had to bring it back to them. But I didn't want to show up at a commissioner meeting and then you say, wait a minute.
Yeah, no.
Why are you doing here?
Well, I thought you got in trouble and this was punishment, having to go to the county commissioners.
When I'm in trouble when they put me way down on the agenda.
So use some juice there, help them get up.
There you go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just before we close, that bothered me, so I excused myself and went and checked my revenue for this year and for that 2024. Those numbers are correct, and I think the misgiving is that these are numbers that money collected, not necessarily billed. The sales are up. The revenue wasn't coming in from the billing. And sometimes big chunks of money show up like that because we have the tree cutters, like, for example, foresters, who will send in very large payments. So I just wanted to tell you before the end of the meeting, those numbers are correct. And it's just a discrepancy of, it's not what is billed, it is what is collected.
Right.
Are you saying on the compost site sales?
Correct.
So it's 14,100.
Without creating another. So are you saying it's still a lot of money down?
Yes.
Are you saying because?
Maybe in March, of this year so far, we didn't collect as much as we did in March of last year. The payments just don't come sometimes as quickly as they should, but the billing is there. We're doing good sales, we just have to get the money in.
Are these billings or this does not include billings?
This does not include bills.
Okay.
No, this
So
is
you may
only
have a 10
collected
grand worth of
revenue.
billing.
I'm sorry?
You may have 8 grand.
Correct. Yeah, I just
10
wanted to straighten it out.
Yeah, in the billings, right? People are charged on their, how do they pay for the mulch? I know you don't pay.
Vince sets up the invoices, and then he forwards those to Robin, who does the billing, and then the billing is sent out
Yeah, you
in
mail
a
them out
timely manner,
to
twice a
people?
month. And we just, sometimes we have to remind them. But I just wanted to clarify that this
Okay,
report
I
only
gotcha.
shows the incoming revenue, not
Okay.
what was sold.
Okay,
We still need a motion and a vote on allowing me to go to the commissioners meeting.
Make a motion that we allow you to approach the commissioners
There's a motion on the floor
Second.
to let Mr. Turner attend the commissioners' meeting for tire amnesty. And there's a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay,
Motion to adjourn?
motion to adjourn. All right, all those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting's adjourned.
Signal.